Who's Technical Safety BC? Do you need a permit? And why does any of this matter? Hey, my name is Josiah. I'm the owner of Harder Power Company. You're a local electrical contractor. We've done 1,000 electrical jobs in beautiful British Columbia, and we're here to help you get your home safer and get that electrical installation of your dreams. Who is Technical Safety BC and why should you care? So picture this, you're standing on the road, holding your family close, your dog made it out, but your house is burning to the ground, your prized possession. And you think back to a couple weeks ago when you hired that 22-year-old electrical contractor who came to your house, said he'd give you an awesome deal, and he was going to charge you $30 an hour. And you thought, wow, this is a smoking deal. Absolutely. That could be the reason your house is burning to the ground, and tracing back his license or lack thereof, good luck. So if you could go back in time, here are a few questions you could ask yourself before your house is burning down. Number one, is the electrical contractor that I'm about to hire legitimate? Do they have the licensing? Do they have all the credentials that are needed? Another important question you should ask is, do I need an electrical permit for what I'm asking this person to do? I know that shouldn't necessarily be a responsibility on your shoulders, but when you have electrical contractors who aren't licensed, running around trying to make a quick buck, it's important for you to have all the information, to ask the right questions, and to vet them to know, are they legit? Technical Safety BC exists to drive me crazy with their wild regulations and to cost you a bunch of money on permits. No, they don't, but that's what a lot of people do think. Technical Safety BC is a nonprofit organization that exists essentially to keep you and your home safe. So they mandate natural gas and electrical within the province of British Columbia. And essentially my license as a general electrical contractor is through them, and they mandate me to protect you and your home. But hey, they might have a 2.3 out of 5 on Google in their review section. And they might only be open 2 days a week, but they're not in business to keep you happy. They're here to keep you safe. The key functions of Technical Safety BC is safety oversight, licensing, and making sure that they're educating the public on new bulletins, information on how to keep electrical and gas fitters safe and their installations as well. Here's my Technical Safety BC electrical contractor's license. And here you can see Class B FSR, Master Electrician. So what this license does is it essentially says that I've gone to Technical Safety BC and proven that, number one, I'm a journeyman electrician. Number two, I actually have the license above journeyman electrician, which is that FSR B licensing or Master Electrician, which allows me to pull permits and complete regulated work for profit under the nonprofit that is Technical Safety BC. So essentially, they have vetted me, they made sure I had the insurance, they made sure I have the proper training to go to the general population and sell them electrical work. So the biggest problem that we have in the province of British Columbia around electrical safety is knowing when permits are necessary and when they're not. So let's get into it. First of all, I want to say for those DIYers out there who are literally on YouTube right now to learn how to do electrical in their own homes, I'll pray for you, but please do your research, and you can absolutely pull an electrical permit as a homeowner through Technical Safety BC, and they will come and inspect your work and make sure it's all good. Hey, if you don't want to hire Harder Power, I get it, but please pull a permit, because there's a lot of things you can do yourself. In my opinion, electrical shouldn't be one of them, but I'll stop there. Okay, so the first thing you don't need a permit for is testing. You can grab your multimeter, you can run around your house all day long and test different electrical things. That's all good. Feel free to do that. Number two is replacing. The key word here is replacing. Check out Technical Safety BC's bulletins on this, but you can absolutely replace certain things in your house without a permit, but it does not say add. I want to make that very clear. Add means permit. Replace means you're good to go without a permit. Okay, the second thing you can do without a permit in your own house, or an electrician, for example, can do in your house without a permit, is replace the following things. And I gotta say, it's important to make the distinction between adding and replacing. Technical Safety BC uses the word replace here, meaning you're not adding new breakers, you're not adding new electrical sockets and dimmers and switches and things like that. It's only replacing existing things. I know I'm repetitive, but that's very important. So the list here is receptacles, cord attached plugs or cord ends, switches, ballasts, dimmer switches, ceiling fan controllers, thermostats, and overcurrent devices. These are the things you can replace in your home without a permit. So having said all of that, if you are adding a receptacle in your house, for example, hey, you want that Dyson plug put in your closet, or you want extra power in this location in your house, those items would require a permit. So take that into account when you're planning your next project. And please ask your electrician, hey, are you planning to pull a permit for this? Because asking those types of questions will determine whether or not they're doing things on the books with Technical Safety BC, and how can Technical Safety BC keep you safe if they do not know the work is happening. Okay, so here are the two main electrical permits that we use on a day-to-day basis within our business, Harder Power Company. Number one is an installation permit. So oftentimes this is just a small change within the house. Like I said, adding that small plug here, putting in that EV charger, putting in some baseboard heaters, whatever is possible, right? Those would be installation permits, meaning we, as the electrical contractor, are coming to your house and installing some sort of electrical component. So that would be one category of permit that we use. Number two would be service upgrade. So there is specific things that homeowners can do. This is not one of them. Upgrading a service, you need to have a contractor's license. You need to communicate with Technical Safety BC and get that work booked in tandem with BC Hydro to complete a service upgrade. I know that's very granular, but those are a couple of specific things that we offer, the most common permits that we pull with Technical Safety BC. Now that we better understand what Technical Safety BC is, why they exist, let's talk about some of the powers that they might have for you and your house, okay? So obviously, if you want to respect an organization like this, it's important to know what power they have within the province, who's elected them, those types of things. So yeah, you could have a posture of, okay, this is cool, Josiah. I know all this stuff about Technical Safety BC, but I just don't really care. I'm looking to save a couple $100, or maybe you're convinced that what happens on your property is your business and your business only. So that's one stance to have, but what are the repercussions of those opinions? Let's get into it. Do you remember that house fire we were talking about at the beginning of this video? You're standing on the sidewalk, holding your family close, watching your asset burn to the ground. The problem is, if the work that was completed in your house by that teenager that came by and made a couple quick bucks and you didn't pull a permit, if that work was done and it was the cause of the fire, number one, that teenager in his Honda Civic probably doesn't have a insurance or business license, general liability, bond, any of that type of stuff. Number two, if Technical Safety BC doesn't have records of this and they haven't communicated it to the municipality, and the fire marshal finds out that there was some sort of electrical fire that was causing this, there is some big problems. And it's not necessarily because of Technical Safety BC. They're not out to get you and screw you over. However, it's the insurance company that's going to get that report about why the house burned down and what things were communicated to the city and what things were completed by a regulated licensed contractor and what things weren't. If they find any way to weasel out of giving you hundreds of thousands of dollars, they will. And so that's the problem here, is if you do not pull a permit, Technical Safety BC doesn't have a record of the project being completed, and it's noted as an electrical fire, then you best believe that that for-profit insurance company is going to screw you, or at least try to. To wrap this up, your insurance company will typically include an obligation of the homeowner to comply with BC Building Code and local regulations. So that would include Technical Safety BC permitting. So if you choose not to pull a permit, it would be seen as neglect, and then potentially you would be liable for the damages. I'm not here to be the bad guy and to tell you, you have to get a permit every single time. That's Technical Safety BC's job. But at the end of the day, I'm just here to try to advise my clients and potential clients of what the ramifications are of cutting this corner. As a business as a whole, we absolutely push permits to every single one of our clients, and we try to communicate the severity of what's at stake if things were to go wrong. Of course, yes, Harder Power as a whole, our installations are all compliant with code no matter what, and we do not burn houses down. That's a relevant thing to take into account, but it's important, like anything else, to get that insurance, to make sure you're jumping through the proper hoops, because like I said, this is one of the biggest investments of your lives, and what's more valuable than your safety and the safety of your family. Lastly, I just wanted to share 3 hot tips when it comes to Technical Safety BC and electrical permits. Number one, please check to see if your contractor is licensed with Technical Safety BC. Thankfully, Technical Safety BC has you covered here. You can literally go to their website, type in the contractor's name, and look them up to see if they actually have a license. So please go ahead and do that before you enter into a business agreement with an electrical contractor. Number two, you can actually look up your permit to see if it exists. So don't pay for a permit that is not being pulled. So check with your electrician, make sure that they are pulling the permit. And if they do, once you get that permit number, make sure it's legit, because we want to keep everybody honest. I'm not saying that there's crooks running around pulling permits, but please do your due diligence there. And then number three, check the Technical Safety BC permit price list. They have their pricing for electrical permits posted online. You can check what your permit should cost. And a quick note here is permits are based on the amount that the homeowner pays. It's more complex than that, but on your standard installation permit, the permit value is based on the total ticket price with the exception of large equipment. So check to see that you're being charged the right amount. Another thing to take into account is oftentimes electricians will throw in like a service fee. So the permit might cost $250 and they'll put on a $50 administrative fee. And that's totally legit. Just make sure you're getting charged the adequate amount for the permit that you are purchasing. If you're looking for a contractor who pulls permits and has a great relationship with Technical Safety BC, book in a call with me in the description below. 15-minute discovery call to chat about your project. We can talk permits, we can talk electrical systems, whatever you need done, we're happy to help. And if you have a friend who maybe has a Technical Safety BC story or needs some advice when it comes to permitting, please send them this video and drop your comments and thoughts in the section below. We'd love to see them, and we will see you on the next video.